Hey everybody, and welcome to the Outdoor News Fishing Report for Northeast Wisconsin.
This past weekend was Memorial Day weekend, so it was a really great time to be out on the water. We were expecting storms, and honestly, they came a lot later Monday than they originally told us it was going to. So
Yep.
that was a big shock.
Yeah, and we fished, a little bit deep and we fished a little bit shallow. Uh, Saturday was tough with some of the moving weather fronts, but we got into some fish on Sunday. Yeah.
Well, now you said all the days. So on Saturday, we went to one of our
Sorry.
local lakes. And what Josh is meaning is, we did hit a lot of wind there.
Hmm.
So the weather pattern itself was fairly sunny. I think it was actually sunny the whole day.
Hmm.
There was some passing clouds, but it's one of those days that did start getting those water temperatures back moving in that warming up direction. Because, just prior to that, it was not warming up. Our weather had been pretty crazy and even some rain splashed in there, and that'll
Yeah.
affect temperatures. So,
Right.
when we were on the lake, we did fish deep, we did fish shallow,
Yeah.
and we had honestly varying luck.
Yeah. Yeah. We pulled a couple pike. We also pulled a couple bluegills. Some in 2 feet of water, some in 12 feet of water. So fish were all over the place. Made it kind of tough.
And when we got there, water temperatures were right around, 60 degrees. They
Hmm.
were, kind of low. As the day went on, mid 60s, it warmed up too because we said there was a lot of wind. There was a lot of variation in those water temperatures. So, if you were in the side where the wind was blowing too, those water temperatures were considerably warmer, 65, even almost 66 degrees. If you were on that cooler side, it might have still been 62. So, sometimes a spawn happens and fish go shallow. Sometimes that weather affects them, sometimes they don't. But we've had a lot of crazy weather to begin with, so we did try a little bit of both.
Yep. And then Sunday, we went back to the river, a little bit less affected by the weather. The river temp was 59 degrees. And we got back in some backwaters, and that was between 60 and 65 degrees, depending on where you were.
And again, Monday was a lot sunnier than they expected, and so
Hmm.
that's one of those days where the water temperatures rose through the day.
Quickly.
Yeah, pretty quickly. Yeah, so like Josh was saying, the low 60s when we get out there, and I think I even saw my graph hit 67.
Hmm. Yep, you're right. And we spent the day pitching small jigs under bobbers, and we did pretty well. We saw some fish, we caught some fish, caught a huge variety of fish,
A
which was
huge
a
variety.
big surprise. But it's just remember that weather's not everything, and sometimes it's fishing pressure that can make fishing tough.
And we talked a lot about that in our boat because there is a lot of new people on the water this year. A lot of new anglers, a lot of families, getting their different kids and family members out. But just there's a lot going on with that. When fish are seeing so many jigs, so many lures, so many baits, drag past their face, first of all, it's important to be throwing those fish back so that there's a certain number of them to come back to. But, sometimes what we tried is just something that the fish don't normally see. So we found that our go-to color this time was different than normal fishing that spot, and we used like a bright gummy bear orange almost.
Yep, we sure did, and we tried a whole bunch of different colors, everything from purple and black to chartreuse and white, and we landed in the red and orange category, and that seemed to be doing pretty good.
And orange on the lakes as well, actually, which was unusual for us. So, go out there and try everything that you got. Sometimes people this time of the year are dead set on live bait, and if that's working for you, go for it. Otherwise, don't be afraid to mix it up.
Absolutely. Have a good time on the water.